Learning how to drive. John turned 16 a couple of months ago, which meant that he was old enough to get his driving license. He was excited about this because he hated walking. His school was far from home. He had to walk over 30 minutes to school. It was okay on most days, but when it was raining, he hated it. It was also inconvenient when he had to wake up early. John decided to prepare for his driving test. He must pass the written test in order to get his permit. He studied for the test by enrolling in an online course. He spent a few hours reading the manual and learning about the rules of the road. In a few weeks, he was ready for the test. He brought all his documents and took the written test. When he got his results, he was happy to see that he had passed. Now all he had to do was to take the road test. Before he could take the road test, he had to learn how to drive. His parents found a driving teacher that his cousin had used. He was going to meet with him in a week to learn how to drive. When he first got behind the wheel, he was nervous. After a few lessons, he loved driving. John was excited to take the test. He felt confident that he would do well. The next day, he signed up for the driving test. Love or money? Lori's parents cared about their daughter very much. It was a little too much. They were very concerned about her love life. They wanted to make sure that she married a man who was able to provide for her. Lori's parents didn't make a lot of money. Her mom was a saleswoman and her dad was a police officer. They just wanted Lori to never have to worry about money. Lori was making a decent amount of money, but it wasn't that much. She was a behavioral therapist. She was making about $45,000 a year. Lori met an investment banker a few years ago, and they have been dating ever since. He was making $120,000 a year, so her parents approved. He was a nice guy, too. Lori wasn't sure if she wanted to marry him though. She felt that there was something missing. When Lori was at the grocery market, she ran into her old friend Thomas. They knew each other back in college and were close. He asked her to catch up over a cup of coffee. She agreed. They went out for coffee and it was as if no time has passed. She noticed how happy she was with him. She really missed him. He asked her out on a date and she said yes. She broke up with her boyfriend right after. Lori knew her parents would be upset. Thomas only made $45,000 a year. When Lori told her parents, they were very sad. Lori felt a bit guilty, but she knew that Thomas was the one for her. If only she waited one day. Vanessa had been eyeing a dress online for a long time. It was a long, white crochet dress, which cost $100. She was hoping the price would go down. She checked the website every day for 1 month, but the price never went down. She wanted the dress in the medium size. The website said there were only 5 more left. She did not want it to sell out. She finally bought the dress. A week later, it came to her house. Vanessa excitedly opened the package and the dress was perfect. It looked exactly the way it did on the website. Her cousin was throwing a party on a yacht that night. Vanessa wanted to wear the dress for that party. When Vanessa arrived, everyone complimented on how she looked. The dress was definitely worth it. "Where did you get that dress?" her cousin asked. Tula.com, Vanessa said. Her cousin went on the website. There were only 2 more in the size medium and 1 more in the size small. The next day, Vanessa decided to wear the same dress at her friend's dinner party. "Hey Vanessa. Nice dress." I just bought the same one today. It was such a good price, Jan said. You mean you don't think $100 is a good price? Vanessa said. Oh no, it was only $35. Jan said. Vanessa's jaw dropped. If only she waited one day. At the arcade. Timothy loved to play games ever since he was young. He was good at almost every single game. He was extremely competitive and hated to lose. He decided to go to the arcade to put his skills to the test. He thought this would be a fun way to use his skills and be rewarded. He invited all his friends to come since he did not want to go alone. At the arcade there were all types of games. The games ranged from beginner to expert level. Some of the games required no skills and just pure luck. Timothy wanted to try the games that were not based on luck. He decided to warm up with claw machines. These required coordination and precision. However, he soon realized these machines relied a little bit on luck to pick up the prize. He quickly moved on to shooting target games. He also played basketball games. Basketball was more suited towards his skills. He was able to win prizes in both. Timothy also played games with his friends. It was fun competing against them, even when he lost. Sometimes he felt discouraged when he lost, but he kept trying. At the end of the day, he had many prizes to take home. He realized he had spent a lot of money playing these games. Timothy told his friends he had a fun time and hopes to come again, but not too often. He traded prizes with his friends and they all took a photo to remember this day. A lonely puppy. Rebecca was going on her daily jog when she saw a lonely puppy on the sidewalk. The puppy was alone. She did not see its owner anywhere in sight. The puppy had a collar. She checked the collar for an address or identification, but there was none. The puppy followed her and began to play with her. The puppy seemed to really like Rebecca. Rebecca loved dogs and did not mind at all. She wanted to help this puppy find its owner. She did not want to just abandon him. She decided to take a picture of the dog and post flyers around her town. She hoped that the puppy was local to the area. For the time being, she took the puppy home. She bought dog food and prepared a nice area for the puppy to sleep. The puppy seemed confused in its new environment. It was a little shy, but still showed a liking to Rebecca. The next day, Rebecca posted flyers all over town. She added her phone number in case anyone wanted to contact her about the dog. She hoped that she could find its owner. She decided to take the dog for a walk. She started to form a connection with the dog, but she knew she could not keep him. A few hours later, a woman contacted her about the dog. She was so relieved Rebecca had found him. Rebecca returned the puppy to the woman and could see how happy both of them were. Rebecca felt great and decided she would get a puppy in the future.